Alright guys, welcome back. So what I did in the break between my last video is I went ahead and on this image server that I created in the previous video, I went ahead and installed my the tools I use daily and that I want on each and every machine, like Potty, and I have Pot Query, and then I just installed some other partial modules that I use regularly on a daily basis, including Azure, um, Storage Explorer, my AZ copy, my Azure command line interface, and the PowerShell. So basically, I just installed all those applications because I want them to be in every single server I deploy. Um, what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna make an email Sysprep this so I can use this as an image. Now, but before I do that, let me jump back in here. Now, this is the official Microsoft instructions on how to go about the steps. Um, I've gone through the steps multiple times. I've done it multiple times, and I even created a little PowerShell, put together my own PowerShell commandlet to make it easier instead of going through all the steps. But basically, this is the steps I will be going through. So, uh, yeah, so I've installed everything I need. I'm just going to go ahead and bring up PowerShell. I'm going to run PowerShell as an administrator. And I'm going to navigate to, what is it, System 32, oh, Windows, sorry. Windows first. Guess this is PowerShell is taking a sweet time to move. Here we go. So let's go Windows, System 3, Sysprep, Sysprep. Then I'm going to go ahead and generalize this, and then I am going to go ahead and actually do a shutdown. Now, let's just kick this off. Now, this Sysprep, what it does is actually generalize the VHD on the machine, and that's all it does. It makes the VHD, clears all the unique ID and makes the VHD so you can use it in another. You can use it as an image to deploy another server. So this the Sysprep normally takes a few minutes. So let's give it a few minutes. So once the Sysprep or part of the Sysprep process is as you saw, it will shut down the machine. So you get something like this, but that doesn't mean the Sysprep is done. So what you need to do is just come back into the portal here and just wait for the status to change here. It will say stopped. That means the Sysprep is completed. Okay, so this is what we wanted to see. It says stopped occurring compute charges, which means that the machine has been shut down from within the VM, but the VM itself is still running, if you can understand that. So next step is I'm gonna try to capture the image. For that, I'm going to use PowerShell. Let's see what I have. And while that is loading, I'll come back to this step. So this is the step we did. And the next step I'm going to use to capture the image will be from the right here. Okay, this one, this one, this one, all the way down to here. But like I said, it's the same step in here, but I've already put it into little into my little script, so it'll be easier for me to do. And I made a few, remove and added a few addition to it just to make it look, just to give me what I want. And I'm going to use this the ISC so you can see the commands while I run it. And this is what I'm going to run. Resource group name. Oh, I don't know if you remember it. I copied the last time the deployment was there. I copied it out. So let's go here. Say Notepad. So this was the information I copied from the last deployment, the first the image deployment we did. So I have this information here. I don't believe subscription is in there, but that's fine. We can always jump back into the portal here. Storage account name. The VM name. And the prefix, the VHA name prefix. This is what you want your image to be called. So DV1. Also DV1 image, simple as that. And that should be the end of it. If I hit on enter, I'll log in. And that should take care of the rest. So basically what it's gonna do, it's gonna log me in, then it's gonna stop the machine. Then it's gonna, after stopping the machine, it's gonna generalize the machine, which is different from generalizing the VHD. It's deallocating, which means it's now stopping the machine. And once it's done that, it will get the status of the machine, which will display here so you see it. Then what it will do, convert that machine into an image. And then it will display for us the image URL. So let's give the script a few minutes to complete. Okay, so it deleted the machine, and then it run the status section. This still knows provision set succeeded. Okay, OS stage generalized. Okay, VM generalized. Perfect. And then it gives us the location here of where it stored the image. Perfect. Now, next step is we're going to use that image to deploy a new VM. Now, the same step, if you keep on following this article, this is the step we're going to use. But again, I created my own flavor because well, I like my flavor better. But these are the basic steps you can use to recreate the VM using the image. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to open, and here we go. So these are the steps. It's going to create the VM. So let me go ahead and just launch that, and while that is going through, I can run, I can explain a bit. Create VM from image, yep. So it's going to be the same information we have here. I'm just going to put it in another screen so it can be easier for me to copy and paste. So resource group. Subscription ID. Old VM name. Storage account name. Now VHD prefix. This one will be the same one we used before to create the image, because that's what it needs, and that was a DV1 image. All right. Now, so in my script here, since the way I generated it, it could be any other, it could be different ways. But what I'm saying, the way I did it, I left this option, which I have to actually fill out. Basically, it's a prefix for my server. So it's gonna be, let's say, for my server name. So I'm gonna put in here. What I want is DC1 dash 00, and actually I only want one of it. So I'm gonna leave the array as one. I'm gonna save it. Once that's saved, I can come down here, make sure that's the end of my script, and then I can say enter. So it's gonna go through the same rhythm. Now it's gonna prompt me for my username that I want to actually log into the server with. DV1 admin. And then it's gonna start creating my server. Now it will take about 10-15 minutes, just like it did when we did in the portal. So I'll go through the script for you just to see. So what it does is it logs me in, sets my subscription ID, then it gets the information from my previous server, which is the image server. No, so it doesn't find the Windows Server because it's Windows Server default, but that's fine. So it gets a storage account name, which I shouldn't have needed it. I shouldn't have needed it here, but it's all good. So then it asks me for the credential for my server. Then it creates the name of my server. Right here is where it creates the name of the names, and then for here it does a for each. So for each name in the name, so I can have like if I'm doing a mass deployment, I can deploy like 5 servers at the same time using the image with same settings. Then it creates the VM for each server. It creates the VM config using the same size. It puts in the new name and using the same size as the previous server. Then right here it creates a VM called VM, and it sets the operating system for the VM. Basically, give it a computer name and the credential that we entered right here. And provisions the VM agent within the box. Next here, it creates a random number. That random number is what's used to create the name for the IP, for the public IP address. Then it says new public IP address, equals the name, the location, which it gets from the old server, the resource group, which it gets from the old server, and it makes it a dynamic, and then the label, which is just the name of the server in lowercase. After that, it looks at the VNet. It gets the VNet from the old server, the first VNet. And then it generates another random number. It doesn't use the same random number, even though I could use the same random number. but it creates use that same random number to create a nickname. Then it has to get the NSG. Then using the nickname random number, it creates a nick on the first subnet in the virtual network. Then it adds that information to the VM. Then this section creates the drive, the OS drive, using the image. This here looks for the image that we created based on the prefix and the resource group. And here it sets the disk after creating everything. And then it deploys the VM. If you jump into the portal right now, and we go to resource group, we go to the demo video resource group 1. See the resources been deployed. If I go to machines, it's currently creating my DC. So all we have to do is sit back and wait till it's done creating. Okay, so the server is now running. So let's see what but our script is still working, so let's wait for our script to complete. So what's happening now, even though it says the server is running in the portal right here, which you should be able to access it right now. What's going on here is that the script will be running extensions. Okay, so now it's done. Perfect. So let's go back into the portal again. One thing we got to this error here means that the network security group was not set, so if we might have problems connecting. So before we do anything, let's jump back into the interface for that machine. And let's set the network security group. Well, before we set it, let's come back into the security group here. So I don't want my future script to actually fail. So I'm gonna correct. I'm just gonna rename this because normally I rename it Windows Server. For some reason I decided to put default there, but which is why it failed. So I'm just gonna go ahead and rename it again to is it? Huh, can't see the rename and I don't want to fuss about with it, so let's just add it to the other server, and then what I'll do in the future, what I will do here is I'll take this out. I'll take the name out. And while that's coming, I'll just make sure my new thing is default. And hopefully I remember to change it in the other ones going forward. So that has been saved. So I'll jump back into my virtual machines. And I'll connect. All right, so I've deployed a new server using the script. And if you notice, the new server I deployed using the script, also using the image that I did. It has all the my favorite tools. I have Putty here. I have my Windows Azure Active Directory modules, and I also have my Windows Azure modules all installed in there. You can tell by if I do login. It's taking a sweet time, but it's there. While that is doing that, let's just check also if you go in here into your Explorer. Go to C. I have my port query already on the drive. Yep. So that is how you create. That is how you deploy using deploy with PowerShell using an image. Next short video, I'll do how to do a little bit of cleanup. Then video after that, we'll do mass deployment. All right. Thank you for watching. You have a good day.